Oh, snap. Alright, everyone right on time. We're at the 9 o'clock. Well, almost everyone. We got Team 0 in here. And so, we will be waiting for NES Narcos. Hey, what's up, B-Wizzy? B-Wezzy? Thanks for the follow, Shadow. And we got some prediction up there. Yeah, if you have any ideas of how you want me to say your name, please let me know. If you want Nyx, Shadow, if I'm even saying that right. Well, you as well. Be Wizzy. Gotta separate the two. All right. So, yeah, we're just waiting a little bit for NES Narcos. Fun story. We couldn't put the full name or else it blurs it out in Rocket League. But here they are. So quiet without music, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be that. B. Both teams ready. R. What is R? I'm scared. All right, we are good to go. Let's get it on. We've been waiting. Here it is. This is week number 7 for CPL of the Tier 5. That is C1 to C2. R is ready. Yes. It's the very short version. Could mean a lot of things, but here it means ready. And you know who's ready? Oh, that guy. Squeezes in. Not the strongest, but applying the pressure. Back and forth. Little ping pong with the opponents. And of course, we must mention for anybody watching that hasn't watched any of our casts, this is chalked. That's a soundbite that comes up when it hits a crossbar. So be prepared to hear that. When does Fortune T1 play? Give us the backstory. We're not cultured. But, well, that guy is there, back on defense. Plenty of time. Bobbing and weaving, and so far has an imprint on game number 1. So certainly gonna have eyes upon them. And there, another touch to its boom. Trying to push it forward. And some demos coming out, but numbers could be an advantage. Awkward play. Paradox succeeds. And we are tied 1 apiece. Team 0 black. They are in blue. Nobody's bruised. NES Narcos in orange, and almost another shot. A little panic setting in, but Team 0 black surviving that and can't even apply the pressure on the other end. But off the backboard, it's boom, strikes, finds the angle, and nice team play. Everybody touching and resulting in a score. NES Narcos on the board again and take the lead. Rec trying to force the pressure, and Paradox might have another one, but El Gran, we must mention, another caster, so be sure to go show some love. But for now, playing here in front of us, and pops it high. No one there. There's going to be a little bit of a gap in reaction, and Rec going fully for the block and delays. So both players thinking ahead, and instead no one hits it, and that ties things up. What a play. I'm trying to get my wins up for C3 GC1. Yeah, good stuff. You got a lot of wins to go through. You need to go on a superb winning streak. Rack. Strong shot, but saved, and we are beyond halftime. 2-2, a very even match so far. And looking for someone to break through as we get into the second half of the game. Paradox has been a shining staple for their squad. Tuxie gets a touch and can just kind of wait there and staying in the corner. High ball. Rec trying to control. It's boom. A little bit wide, but still keeping it in the opponent's half. POC, you might be GC2 by the time you get enough wins. I don't know about that one. But it's possible. You do have a lot of wins to go through. Rec trying to get it around. Denied. And once again, we must mention this is C1-C2 if you're curious. As good display of action. And that one just pushed out at the end. El Gran is there on the save. Oh, that guy. He can't get it by the second defender. But trying to feed it midfield. But all players back for Team 0 Black. But the pressure keeps on coming from NES Narcos. And they're kind of knocking on the door. Is it a matter of time? Do they put one in before OT? Or does Team 0 Black hold on? And the pressure back and forth. Very well spaced for NES. But you gotta give credit on the defense for Team 0 Black. And we might have ourselves OT for game number 1. And we do. Does it end in 5 seconds? Or do we have a little bit longer of an OT? It's been pretty even so far. You got me. Who's going to take this one? Could come down to mistakes. Could come down to a special play. And off the ceiling. Pushed out in front. Almost dangerous. But going to be a little wide. Wreck. Trying to meet with the challenging. And Paradox can't get it by. A nice pass to that guy. But not going to be on target. And we're going the other way. And BWizzy says 0 takes this game. And that's in front midfield. Delaying the challenge. Will that come back to bite them? But well, that guy does recover. Get a piece. And double commit. They're bunched up in the corner. Could spell a problem. And there are opportunities for Team Zero Black. And as they keep the pressure, who's going to take the ball? And mistakes. And you wonder if they're going to come out. A high ball, going for it. Tuxie trying to lay it in. That's going to be pushed out and denied. And NES Narcos being tested. It's interesting. Right before OT started, Team Zero Black were the ones being tested. But now, having a staple that is almost in but denied. What a save. It's NES holding strong. But Tuxie, a nice challenge, and what a shot. Rec or L, able to seal it in OT, but Tuxie was a little bit quiet this game. But clutches up, providing the opportunity for his teammate. Team Zero Black takes game number 1. And so we're going to try to remember. We're looking right at it, so we should be able to go to Forbidden Temple. We don't want to, though. All right. Next up, everybody's ready. I'm so good at predicting, you might have something there. But I wouldn't recommend gambling. But, damn, BWizzy went up 70 MMR. That's pretty good. All right, game number 2. It was a very close game number 1. But, looking at game number 2, does NES Narcos, or do they, really? Proper pronunciation. Do they come back in game number 2? And we fully expect for them to come out swinging. Nobody takes a loss lightly. And we wouldn't expect that of NES either. And well, that guy has provided good amount of offense. And we're going to see if that continues into game 2. But on the defensive, a bounce not in their favor. But give credit on that touch. El Gran able to keep it out to the side. And what's up, Bandit Gamer? Welcome into this CPL match. We're casting, encompassing C1 to C2. And also, we might as well shout out the sponsors. You see that on the top left. Krusty Crew Gaming, Tishak Gaming, Shafted Esports, Solus Path, and Boost Over Ball. We gotta give a big shout out to them for helping create a prize pool to the winner of all these tiers. And what a play, Tuxie! Off of the redirect, the nice pass given. Crisscross. Paradox finds him, and what a heck of a team play as Team Zero Black continuing the momentum. Paradox gets a touch. Oh, that guy trying to clear it out. That bounces back. And Tuxie, one touch. Oh, Grand Kema is there for the reaction. But that could be on, and it is on. A little bit of help, but Paradox credited with the goal. And the threat was there. That little touch, it looked a little bit light, but that puts Team Zero Black up by 2. B-Wizzy, you want to hit C3 tonight? You know, you might as well if you can. But that's a high ball. No one on backboard. And can they get something? And there's a team play on the other end. NES Narcos having a nice infield pass. And that is beautiful. Alright, so map change, they really mean server reset. So we will do that after this one. But play continues and pushed out. Oh, that guy can't continue on. And a touch off to the side. It's boom. Gonna redirect in front. And El Gran Kima is there to tie things up. 2-2. And a nice pass. Just give and go. The beauty of letting it fly and walking away. But we are back to a tie game. 2-2. We do know that a little bit of lag hitting Team Zero Black, and unfortunate. You hate to see that. But gotta play on, as we've had goals in this one. And if you're not familiar with the rules, pretty much after 1 minute is played, then gotta continue on, finish out the game. And almost the redirect, but pushed out to the side. Right now, Team Zero Black trying to get back in the lead. Trying to face a little adversity. High ball, and oh, that guy comfortable to just sit there and react. No threat. But pressure keeps coming in. However, no one on the wide end of this one for Team Zero Black. And back and forth play. This could be dangerous. That chips in. Tuxie is able to add to the tally. And we saw a slow start from Tuxie in game 1. But since then has ramped up. And puts this team up by 1. And that's an open net. Kind of. But nevertheless, adding to the tally, and that's a huge goal as we reach 43 seconds. That little buffer of 2 goals. And so, gonna be a tough spot for NES Narcos. Certainly in the game and in the series. They dropped this. Now it's reverse sweep is their only shot at winning this. 20 seconds left. Looking for a little momentum. High chip off to the side. Paradox. Can't get it going anywhere. And chip. Alright, whoops. I don't know why I'm saying GG.
This is shocked.
Alright. So that's interesting. Yeah, lagging on the map. Alright, so hopefully that map is good. If they're good to go, they'll jump in, which they are. Alright. Game number 3 is here. Match point for Team 0 Black. And this is good. Glad to hear it. But El Gran Kima starts things off with a nice goal, and they're gonna need that. Gonna need that quick start. As backs against the wall. Can't afford any more losses. Can they find themselves a win? And when you're going for that reverse sweep, you gotta take it one game at a time. And they have this one in front of them. Game 3.
This is shocked.
As Havoc says, bring it back, Narcos. And certainly they've been in this series. But, yet, down by 2. And almost another opportunity there. You know, one goal is not going to suffice. Well, that guy gets a nice touch and applying the pressure. This could be an opportunity, but a touch out for Team 0 Black. It's boom. Give and go. And that's going to blast to the other side. Paradox is up. Wants more. Gonna be denied. Just can't seem to finish. Yeah, that's a personal problem. But there's a pill for that. So we'll see if Narcos take it. And what a save! Narrowly in. But pushed out to the side. And they're going to have to recollect themselves. That was a nice save, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Wreck. Accidental double touch, perhaps. And tactical fakes coming out. Does it work? It almost does, but saved by Paradox. And you can see the intensity in this one. Every play matters. And that's why they're so locked in. But a touch over. Now it's boom. Just trying to keep the pressure. That's going back midfield. And we're slowly approaching halftime. And what a shot. Oh, that guy gets the challenge in. And you maintain pressure. Good things usually happen. Besides those accidental pinches and challenges going back in your net. But nevertheless, hard fought. 2 goals. And get another with a demo. And that is huge for NES Narcos. To try and solidify 1 win at a time. Starting with Game 3. They need to win this one. And showing exactly that. They are up by 3. Playing a very good game in this one. Except we kind of jinxed it there. But that was a mistake there. Giving away a little space. And you know that little space Comes Colin, and oh my goodness. The fake. It's got an incredible mental right there. That just nerves of steel right there. Not to be deterred. And the first. Big credit out. Thanks for paying attention to that first. But dropped out. But maintaining a 3-goal lead. There's still 2 minutes left in this one, though. Somehow, some way. And certainly enough time if Team Zero Black lock in fully. But no easy feat, of course. And oh, that guy gets the challenge. Feeding, and what an angle. It's Boom is there. And big shout out to Cross Progression with the raid. Of course, if you're not following Cross Progression and all the cast and action that comes through, make sure you're following. But 5-1 in favor of Narcos. If you're just tuning in, oh, that guy adds another. If you're just tuning in, they are down in the series. So backs against the wall. They have to win each game. But they're starting with game 3, a very impressive display. That is a good promo on-screen celebration. Although Solus Path are also one of the sponsors on the top left, which we did shout out, but we'll shout out again. But high ball and 6-1 score line. Oh my goodness! And that's also something we'll mention if you're a new viewer. This is chalked. That's our custom crossbar sound. So if that ball is rattling, that's what you're gonna hear. And we've been using that for quite some time. No reason to change now, because it is so chalked. But we have a 2-7 score line. And defense kind of broken here. But good to see from NES Narcos. Pretty much opening up that offense. And you're seeing it in full display. This is shocked, yes. What's up, Connor? Welcome, welcome. But this one's hanging around. And more 50s to follow, more goals to follow. And thank you, Connor, for another account. How many Connors are out there in the world? But 8-2. And this is going back the other way. I mean, I think all focus has been lost in this one. 8-3. Kind of wonder, like, what the most goals have been scored in a CPL match. There's really no way to know, given how many seasons, how many casts, how many games. But almost added another one. Connor, 10,000. No, I have 2, and you're seeing both of them. All right. Now, how do you lock in after that one? Well, you don't have a choice. You gotta win.
This is chalked.
Or it's done. Alright, where are we going? Utopia Coliseum. Alright, that's enough. We know it's shocked. Utopia Coliseum, Dusk. But NES, quite a confidence builder. on that one. However, they have to continue with that. Can't let up. And consistency is no easy thing in Rocket League. But they're trying to force a game 5. Meanwhile, Team Zero Black trying to tap into what got them to this point. And they did. They tapped into it with 3 seconds. So very impressive. But that's kind of what can happen. It is so hard to maintain consistency. And Team Zero Black, they have the advantage 2-1 in the series. And now have the advantage in this one, up by 1. And also, when they've been in the lead, they've continued on to win. And that's a big story for a lot of Rocket League series as well. It's always interesting to see who scores first. Sometimes that tends to lead to the winner. Teams tend to play more confident up in the lead, as you would expect. I mean, it's only natural. Though there are some that, you know, you get down and that lights a fire. But still very early, so that is the good news for Narcos. Very early, a lot of time to turn this one around. But they're going to have to give it their full effort here. And double commit, that could be costly. Tuxie just trying to move it by. Oh, that guy doing the best they can to stave it off. And there's a save from NES Narcos. And that would have been devastating to go down 3 in this one. But awkward in front of their net. This could be an opportunity for Narcos. Oh, Grant trying to collect 50 in front. And oh, that guy, nice touch to keep it to the corner. That is almost in. Its boom is there, but gets deleted. But still down by 2. And they need a goal. Cut this lead. Its boom is trying the best to center it. Almost does, but met with resistance. Bumped off. They're looking for an opportunity. Can they find it? Oh, that guy. Nice control. Gets it by 1, but has 2 players there. They do double commit. Will that come back to bite them? But it's boom. A little bit past it. Needs some help. Does get it. But there goes that opportunity. And halftime is here. Tuxie. Nice control. Staying with it. This could be a chance. But you're seeing a good display from both teams back and forth. And please don't let that go in, but it bounces and Rec can just follow it through, and that is pain. And oh, that little lip up into the crossbar has affected so many, and there is another victim. But pinched to the side, 2 minutes to go. I mean, we did see Narcos put up 8 goals in the previous game, but of course they were in the lead and just piling on. It's a different story when you're down by 3. That's a team that has relocked. And Rec moving it down, and it seems like 30 seconds went by in a flash. And that actually hits the crossbar. They needed that one, but not going to get luck on their side. And outlet pass, boom. Getting bumped around. And Paradox pushing it down, and more time going to tick off. And this is dangerous in front of net. but nowhere else to go. And Paradox opts to keep it to the side. No boost, but gets the flip in. No way does that go in. Wreck is able to be patient. Again, just play off the mistakes.
This is chopped.
And they thought he had more, had no more in the tank. But Team Zero Black, they're up by 4 and a dominant game for game number 4, a closeout game. And certainly a nice bounce back from that previous loss in game 3. As didn't know what to expect. They gave up a lot of golds, but they refocused nicely here and perhaps talked with each other, told themselves, hey, this game is easily forgotten. Let's get back to it. And thanks for the lurk, of course. We appreciate anybody lurking. But 10 seconds left, and that is going to do it for this one. Team Zero Black. And a 3-1 score line. Take the victory. And any moment now. There it is. But quite a display. And congrats to Team Zero Black. As this is the final week, so they are sitting pretty heading into the playoffs. But yeah, GG's. I'd like to thank both teams showing up, putting on the display. Of course, all the people in chat, and even if you were just lurking, appreciate the support. Happy you could watch on. But that is going to do it for this cast. And once again, congrats to Team Zero Black for taking the victory. So, yeah, we'll try to put on a YouTube vid. We try to do YouTube vids more. It just takes so long to load and process. Sometimes I have to wait till the next day. But we try to do that. We're trying to do it more, so yeah, if you want to follow on for the YouTube, you can always check out the cast from now on that we do. Or you can just review the VODs, because we have VODs on. So that is that. And if you stopped in just for that cast, thanks again. And I hope you have a great night. So let's put music back on.